Germany, that's true, and with me should be a colleague of mine from Brussels, Anna Herwold, who was supposed to come. Unfortunately, she fell sick, but you can believe me, the Commission is with you, the force is with you, even if she is not here today and tomorrow, which she very much regrets. I think some of you had already an interesting workshop and hopefully productive workshop this morning and now ready to roll. The ECPMF, built from, I understand, 25 organizations all over Europe, is a very European idea from its very start. And as Commission, I must also say that we are very proud to be able to contribute to the success of your work and to the success of the projects, including with our grants. Independent journalism is a very European value, and in Europe we are, I think, rightly proud of our values. We stress this also very often, but I think for a reason. EU citizens can live freely, get informed and express their views, also thanks to the work of thousands of independent journalists all over Europe. Free, or I should be more specific, all over the EU, because all over Europe already gets sometimes a bit more complicated if you look at the wide extension of Europe. Free journalism is a key value in our system and understanding of rule of law. Free journalism means also a vivid democracy. But in these days, I think it's clear to everybody, and this is why we have this meeting and these discussions, it should not be taken for granted. Freedom and the freedom of expression are at risk, also in Europe, much to our regret. Cases of journalists being attacked, yes, even murdered, not far away, but within our own member states even, show that some seek to shut down debate in Europe by targeting media and journalists. Debate is needed and must be allowed. To quote President Juncker from his State of the Union speech last September, he said, I quote, "Europe must always be a place where freedom of the press is sacrosanct. Too many of our journalists are intimidated, attacked, or even murdered. We must do more to protect our democracy and its agents, our journalists." So what can the EU do to protect journalists? The European institutions, such as the Commission, encourage journalists to dig deep, to ask critical questions, to show us our own drawbacks, and where work needs to be done to improve what we are doing. With this approach, I think we also take a globally leading role, and we have to make sure that within Europe and beyond, people are on the same path. The EU and the Commission, of course, are not beyond criticism. Criticism is, in fact, a product of Europe's enlightenment, and not only a feature of our system, but also, I'm convinced, a reason of our success. Attacks on a system of free media and press are attacks also on the rule of law. The Commission will continue to resist all attacks on the rule of law. We continue to be very concerned by developments also within some of our member states, and we take measures when we see that the rule of law is threatened. Infringement procedures, rule of law mechanism, which we have, this famous Article 7, if necessary, or in the future through our budget. By setting up the European Public Prosecutor's Office, an independent and decentralized prosecution office of the European Union, we took another step towards fighting corruption and fraud, which is often the ground base for investigative journalism. With a competence for investigating, prosecuting and bringing to justice crimes against the EU budget, such as fraud and corruption, we tackle the problem that threatens, often also, European projects. In 2018, we took another step to set new and EU-wide rules to protect whistleblowers, which will guarantee a high level of protection for whistleblowers who report breaches of EU law. The Commission's proposal is now in the hands of the co-legislators, the Council, where the Member States are represented, and the European Parliament. And as you've seen in our Wi-Fi password, 26th of May, of course, elections for the European Parliament. We are optimistic that these proposals for the whistleblowers protection can still be adopted before this May election, so by the current European Parliament. As you know, the European elections itself are likely to be targeted by disinformation and fake news. And this is why we have set up a network against disinformation in the European Union, and we are happy to see that other initiatives are forming. But of course, you as journalists play a key role in fighting disinformation. As I saw, some of you are taking part in a workshop on digital security, also a highly important topic. So with this I conclude, and I would like to encourage you to keep up the brave work you are doing. Be assured the European Commission is at your side. Thank you very much.